Do you think I need to go and paint that yellow BR, bruv?
No time for school and you drop that lesson. I guess you could say school's out of the question. Heard your mother flip, she threw you on the street.
I don't think I want to go out actually.
No, fair enough. It's boiling hot here as well, man. It's crazy hot.
Well, where are you?
I'm in New Jersey.
He's still in Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Jersey. Yeah, I haven't left
they
Jersey.
They should name that place after you. You've been there a long time now, brother, man.
Yeah, they pick and choose who they want to talk about from Jersey, but yeah, I'm one of the guys that's still here. I'm still here.
Well, we'll get
like Jada Kids. I'm outside. I don't live in Miami. This is what I'm saying.
Can I check? You can see my desktop now, yeah? You can see my screen. Okay, great. Because
just while we're on that,
sure.
Who's come out of Jersey, man? We were talking about that before. Redman, obviously.
Yeah, that's
me.
A big
Self. For producers, I would say it's me and 45 King.
45 King. You did a couple of projects with him as well, not too long ago.
One of my best friends, known him for over 20-something years. He was like, we talked every day. Crush and blow, man, because I always felt that he should have been recognized a little more, you know? And I mean, you know, he was one of my inspirations on me coming in with Marly. Like, it was Marly and 45 King. You know what I'm saying? Those are two biggest inspirations for me want to go all the way in with hip hop as far as making beats. And yeah, you know,
and for people sorry, for people who might not know, like the 45 King, he did the Eminem Stan, he did Hard Knock Life with Jay-Z, like classic.
Right, and the famous, infamous 900 number that
the
everybody... Yeah, so, you know, he definitely was like a great friend and a great teacher of a lot of things, because I was always curious. I was always the kind of guy that would ask questions. Be like, yo, what did you use for this? Yo, how did you do that? So
you one of those guys.
Yeah, he would give me a lot of insight on how he made beats, what he thought about, and he was very, very, very unique in his own right. He was just different than everybody else I ever knew that made beats.
Because he was always quite secretive about his samples and stuff like that. But once you got in his inner circle, by the sounds of it, he was very gracious, right?
He was into 45s, but he was more so into television. He would have a DVR recording constantly 24 hours a day. And he would record stuff from like 60s and the 50s and black and whites. And I mean, I heard some breaks that he had recorded from Elvis Presley that was like insane.
Wow.
Insane. That I never heard no record. I never heard nobody sample it. And it was like the show was in black and white and some of the funkiest drums you could possibly imagine. And you're like, what in the world? He's like, I just like watching TV. I like recording the shows. Nobody pays attention to that. I'm like, yeah, I'm too young. I was too young to be in the 60s watching anything from the 60s.
No, yeah, exactly.
I was born in the 70s. So yeah, but 45 is my man, but he's definitely a Jersey legend.
Yeah.
And great friend. And I was glad to actually be friends with him and know more about history, you know, especially from your idol, you know?
Man, and we're going to get into it because like you were somewhat of Marly Marl, like a protege to Marly Marl in the early 90s, right?
Put me on, man. Yeah, shout out to Marly Marl. He was the guy that seen something in me when everybody else was playing games, and we got cooking real quick, man. It was fast, man.
Incredible. I want to hear about those times, but
wait, can I just ask something?
Okay, yeah, sure.
When you got into hip hop, did you go straight into you wanted to make beats, or were you DJing, or were you MCing?
So
when you first got in,
so in '83, I was thinking I was a tagging artist. I thought I
beautiful.
He's on the Arms House,
right? And then I went from graffiti.
But no. Time out there. Now you got to tell us what your tag was.
I mean, I was around a lot of good dudes that were really, really nice in it, and you know,
New Jersey in the '90s, bro.
Yeah, You know, monkey see, monkey do. You know, one of my friends, he actually wound up going to jail behind it because he was just destroying like cities of the word I. He was just tagging I all over.
EYE. Yeah, yeah.
EYE.
Everywhere. And he was always telling me, yo, man, you got to have a distinctness, man, with your E's and your S's, man. You got to, you know what I'm saying? And you know me, you know, I had this, you know, back in the day, they had these big Sharpie markers. You know how they got the, you know, they got the regular little pen Sharpies now that you got.
Yeah.
But they had the real big fat ones.
Back in the day, they had those fat mamas.
Yeah, and you go hold them like this and go like this and like, you know. And
exactly.
yeah, I actually I was doing it for a little bit, but then I wasn't really good because here's the reason why it didn't last long for me, guys. Well, I'm left-handed. And if you know about left-handed writers, as soon as you start writing with your left hand with a marker, you're smudging the ink as soon as you're making a word, a letter.
Uh-huh.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You're right-handed.
Damn, it goes away from your hand goes over your wet tag. Yeah.
You're right. And your left hand is just ragging, just dragging. It was just like having my hand was like a wash rag. So it was just like I'm writing and smudging, and then it's like you can't fix the smudge, it's a wrap. And then smudge, this ink on your hand. I was like, yeah, it's not for me. So I stopped that, and then I went to breakdancing. And sadly, I was breakdancing and pop locking, and one day I said, you know what? I watched the movie what was it? I think it was Wild
Style Wars.
Like that.
Wild Style, yeah.
Style Wars or Wild Style, yeah.
One of them, and I seen one of the guys doing the windmill, and I'm like, whoa, that looks incredible. So I got me some cardboard. I went to an old school ground.
But wait, what year? What year is this?
This was 83, 84.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. Damn,
and,
okay.
You know, I'm like 13, 14, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna get this cardboard out. So I got my little boombox radio and I'm playing, and I'm all by myself. So I was like, you know, first I'm gonna warm up and do my little routine. And then I said, you know, let me go down here and try to get my legs open and swing them open so I can get this windmill going. Well, sadly, the first attempt at a windmill, and I opened my legs.
Damn.
When I came around, where your face goes, your head goes around, and you come and your face goes around and you go around. Sadly, I chipped my front tooth trying to do a windmill. And then I come to the conclusion that, guess what? I don't think this is cut out for me. Mind you, the pain of a chip tooth and your nerve opening your tooth, it was a clear reminder that this is not what you want to be doing. So in 84, I went to my pops, and all my friends, a couple of my friends was getting turntables, and they was acting like they was just joining the fad of DJing. And I felt kind of left out because I wasn't fortunate to have him. And one day my father had a floor model. Excuse me. He had a floor model with the big old TV inside of it.
Like it's a whole system. It's like a cabinet,
like
basically.
A big, gigantic cabinet.
With a turntable inside
with
the
a
thing.
Massive cases.
Yeah. Huge.
So, you know, he was into music and stuff and play records. So one day I decided, you know what? Let me get this record. So I went chipper on it. And he had one of those needles on it that wasn't for DJing, not one bit. So guess what, guys? The stylus broke. So now when I put the needle on, it went right over, right?
Oh, no.
So my heart starts racing. I'm racing, my heart's racing. I'm like,
your dad's gonna whip your ass.
My pops is gonna kill my ass.
So I thought I was gonna be a genius. And you know, you guys are not ready for this, but I'm being real with you. I decided, well, let me get me a small nail, and I'm gonna take the tip of the nail and take
make a new
I'm gonna wire it, and I'm gonna tip it down, and then I'm gonna take the back end of the nail, and I'm gonna break it off, and I'm gonna stick it up inside the cartridge. So,
problem solved.
I did that. So the record played, but not me knowing while the record was playing, a white line was forming as it was playing.
Oh my!
So I was like, well, you know what? It's plays. Let me leave it alone. My father came home, and I think he went to go put on Chick Corea, Return Forever. I never forget it. He put it on, and the first thing when he put the needle down, all you heard was before the song started. Kevin, come here.
The
What'd you do? I said, oh, I was trying to get my little scratch on. He's like, what's a scratch? What are you doing? And after that, I said, I wanted to DJ. And he said, what? He's DJing. So you know what? My mother saved me from getting my butt whooped. And he wound up taking me, and I got my first turntable, which was a Technics BD1. It was a straight arm. And I still didn't have
Technics
two.
BD1.
Yeah, I still didn't have it. I still didn't have two yet. So I went by a friend's house. He had two B1s, curved arms, with a realistic mixer at the time. Long story short, my friend had two turntables in the mixer, and I believe the Real Roxanne had it was called Give Me a Call, and it was the first version of someone doing over Last Night Changed It All. And the Real Roxanne had a 12-inch out. That was her first 12-inch. And my friend, he did a lot of drugs, a lot of this stuff. And one day he was like, "Oh man, go ahead, play, man, practice, man, do your thing, rock out." And I kid you not, I think I DJed for like 3 hours.
Wow.
And I went home to my mother and father and was like, "I need another turntable." They're like, "We just got you a turntable. What do you mean? I need another turntable." And I boo-hooed and cried and boo-hooed and cried. So I eventually got another turntable, went to a local friend of mine in the area. He was like a storage bin of like speakers and amps and records and mixers. He had everything.
Yeah, one of those guys, all the wires and everything. Yeah.
He just had everything you ever wanted. So I wound up getting a mixer from him, a used one. It was actually a Gemini mixer. And that's when I really started. So about 84, 85 is when I started DJing.
Okay.
And
you had pretty good like supportive parents then, by the sounds of it, man.
Yeah,
and
well, my father didn't really understand it, but another fun fact. In 1980, my family would go to Coney Island in Brooklyn, and we like Coney Island. So my father was a roller coaster freak, so he would like to get on the Cyclone roller coaster. And I never did, but they had something in there called disco bumping cars. And it was a bumping car thing, but it was inside, but it was outside, but it was in, but it was Sir Vega speakers around the whole spot.
Okay.
And I'll never forget, Curtis Blow came out with the brakes. And it was so powerfully impactful in my chest that my mom's, she was like, "Oh, I love this record." She went crazy over Curtis Blow the brakes. So she was automatically becoming a fan of hip hop.
Yeah.
My father was into jazz, rock, reggae. My father listened to everything. But anyway, he wasn't even down with none of that. But my mom's, she was feeling it. So I think when Rappers Delight came out and Funk You Up came out, Sequence, and a lot of the Sugar Hill stuff started coming out, my mom would take me to the record store and I was able to get those records. And I had those records. That's why I wound up destroying my dad's turntable, because I wanted to play the records that I was buying. My mom was buying, I wanted to play them. So, I eventually got my turntables in 84, 85, and that was the start of me really focusing on getting doubles of records. And I never looked back after that. I think I never took a break from it at all. And
what were you, like 13? You said 13, 14.
I was 13, 14 when I got my 14 when I got my turntables and mixer.
There's that picture of you on your Insta in a Stetson hat. DJ 1987, 1988. Yeah.
Now that party. I remember whatever Boogie Down Productions had. What was it? South Bronx. When South Bronx came out, I was doing that party in the Instagram.
South Bronx.
Yeah, that song was out when I did that party. But yeah, when those years from 84 to 88, I did all the parties. I was pretty much the man in my town.
Who were the DJs you were looking up to at that time, like when you were just starting out?
Well, one of them was Cash Money. I had a mixtape of him. Yeah, I had a mixtape of Cash Money.
DJ Cash Money.
And he was cutting Pump Me Up, and that freaked me out because he was just incredible. And Jazzy Jeff.
Jazzy Jeff, of course. Did you make it into sorry, but from New Jersey, would you go into New York and like kind of see? I don't know if by the 80s, if really the block parties were still kicking off like that, or
Well, I left out a part. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Awesome Two.
I've
That's
heard the
Special K
name.
and Teddy Ted. Special K and Teddy Ted, they had a radio station on WHBI back in the day, New York radio. And they used to come on with another set of guys came on right before them. Well, Special K, he was from my hometown, and Teddy Ted was from my mother's side of town, where me and Larry O's family was in Hackensack. My mother's side of the family was in Hackensack, and Teddy Ted lived in Hackensack. So I knew both of them. So in 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, I was running around with Awesome Two. So I would end up in all the parties like in the Union Square and Latin Quarters, Rooftop. I was young, but I was with them because they was doing radio. So I was able to see part of hip hop and the evolvement of it while everybody that I was here in Jersey was not doing. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the fortunate ones to be 14, 15 in a place where you had to be 21 and over. I'm in there with these guys because everybody loved them. And everybody showed them love because they were on the radio and, you know, they were Awesome Too. So I was enjoying that. And, you know, I met a lot of people, seen a lot of things at teenage age that it really shaped and molded me and say, oh, you know what? I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life, you know, and I never looked back. And, you know, Jam Master Jay was one I looked up to, you know, like all the groups and all the people and DJs that was part of hip hop growing up. I was really a fan of everybody because I was a fan first before I got to learning how to really make beats myself, which I didn't start making beats till 87. I had a Casio SK1 sampler and a Tascam 4-track, and I was making my beats there. And
in what? Sorry, 87.
Yeah,
87.
Yeah, and Awesome Two was working with Nice and Smooth at the time, so I started getting my feet wet with them. And
Nice and Smooth.
But you're still just making beats. Yeah, you're making beats in your house. You're making beats at home, making beats for yourself. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Like learning the game.
Then 88, a dude, Leland Robinson from Sugar Hill Records, he the one that gave me my first MPC 60 in 88. And that's when everything changed.
It took off, yeah?
88. Yeah, everything changed in 88.
I mean, we haven't... sorry, yeah.
Rapping.
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
In 88, me and Larry O, Real Live, we had first got our record deal through Tab Dash Records, and that was a record label in Harlem where R. Kelly was signed at the time. Before he went to Jog Records, we was all signed to Tab Dash, and it was a record label in Harlem on 125th Street above the Apollo Theater. And even though we did the album, it never came out, and then the owner got locked up for God knows what. End of the day that was my real start. And
wait, you made a whole album?
Yeah.
Made a whole album,
all
right.
One came into the picture. And then KRS One started dealing with me and Larry. And it was, you know, KRS One and Heather B and Kenny Parker. And, you know, we did I could say my stories are unique to most, because I am probably missing a lot of things along the way, but I'm trying to give you a little kind of abruptness of how I was in tune with hip hop when nobody didn't know who I was, or nobody even knew I even existed, but I was around so many different times and eras and things that happened that impacted hip hop to where it's at today. I was a part of that, seeing that. And it only made me become who I wind up becoming in 92 when I finally met Marly and wind up getting with the Laws of the Underground. And then, you know, everything.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, we haven't even properly introduced you yet, man. This is the legendary DJ K Def. If you don't know, get to know. You've all heard his music, but again, whether you realize the man behind the music or not, this is the chap right here. Fucking Lords of the Underground, Chief Rocker, one of the biggest anthems in hip hop, man, in that golden era. And that's saying something. In the best time of hip hop, with one of the best tunes at the time, you know? It's insane. And we're going to get into that, but you mentioned KRS One and being places that, you know, people didn't know you, but you were in all these legendary spaces with all these legendary people. I was going to bring up this one incident, a legendary kind of story within hip hop. It's like a lore. It's like a legend that KRS One and the beef with PM Dawn. Oh,
stop. Okay.
Yeah.
So my man Kenny Parker told the story. He had to go back and retell the story and mention me and Larry L. But like I said, we were with Tab Dash Records, and Tab Dash wasn't doing anything right. So Chris came into the situation. Now, where KRS One came into the situation, the backdrop behind that was Larry's sister, Faith, was dealing with ICU from Boogie Down Productions. They were going together. They were in relations. And in return, ICU introduced KRS One to Larry. So we wound up becoming and doing songs and working. Mm-hmm. So one day, we're in, I think, Battery Studios or Green Street Studios. We and Larry sitting at this table, and Chris comes in with the Source magazine. And he throws the Source magazine on the table, and Larry picks it up, and it's a Sharpie highlighted in yellow. And Prince B has wrote a quote in the Source magazine, guys, saying, KRS One is a teacher, but a teacher of what? Soon as Larry said that, Chris looked at us and said, we're going to the Sound Factory tonight. Okay.
Prince B is from PM Dawn. I'm just trying to, like, because we got some young'uns who listen. I just want to kind of break it down for them. They were a big kind of pop, hip hop group.
PM Dawn, Prince B was the big guy of the group. He was the main guy.
I caught up with a pastime intimate friend. She said, but you're probably going to say I look lovely, but you probably don't think nothing of me. She was right, though. I can't lie.
Yeah.
And so, you know.
So he's like KRS One, teacher of what? Like kind of throwing like sneak, not sneak disses, but just dissing KRS.
He didn't like that at one bit.
Of course not. Yeah.
Me and Larry's looking at each other like, yo, what's going on? So, you know, we were recording a song with Heather B at the time. And we go to the Sound Factory. We get in there. There's a lot of people in there. I mean, you got Latifah in there. Just Ice was there. I think Dinko D from Leads of the New School was there, and he passed out on stage because of dehydration.
Oh, shit.
It was a wild night. It was super packed and it was crowded. So we get there, we're chilling. So PM Dawn gets on stage and they're doing a song and everybody's ready to roll. And Chris goes, nah, hold up, chill. Not yet. So we chilling, whatever, you know. And then they
so he was planning to bum rush the stage. He was gonna do it at some point. Yeah. So he let you know.
Yeah, we all chilling, you know. And then that main song, that number one song comes on, and he looks at everybody and says, now we roll. ICU and Willie D go on stage. They both pick up Prince B in the air.
He's a big guy as well. He's a
very big guy. Two guys to throw one guy. They pick him up and throw him into the crowd. Whoa. And the whole crowd dispersed away. And he falls smack down to the ground.
Nobody catching that shit.
And this was Chris grabs the mic and says, yo, Kenny, bring that shit down. I'm Still Number One comes on.
Oh my God.
Chris does about maybe 4 bars into whatever he's saying.
Yeah.
And the gunshots go off. And I remember me and Larry O are running down 12th Ave trying to escape the gunshots.
What, from the crowd there was gunshot, or was it PM Dawn coming out?
No, it was the gunshots and the crowd went off, and everybody went. It's like somebody let a bomb off, and everybody just scattered and just got crazy. It was pandemonium. But I can say for myself, I've been in a lot of tight situations when hip hop, and I mean, going to a hip hop event now is nothing compared to what I was at, because I remember being in a club. And you had Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, Long Island, Staten Island, Manhattan, Jersey, and Connecticut all at one spot. Yeah. Oh, and Queens too. All in one spot. So you can imagine that many different people from that many places in one location. That's what you call fear. That's what you call fear. You're not fear of the music is what you went there for. The environment, the vibe. That's all it's about. But the truth of the matter is, all you had to worry about was somebody stepping on somebody's sneaker, somebody bumping into the wrong person, somebody looking at somebody.
It's all popping off.
Yeah. It's a million and one things could go wrong. Somebody getting their chain snatched and this pandemonium. But anyway, yeah, I think the KRS One and PM Dawn situation at the Sound Factory was probably the most scariest thing that I could say. Beef, like the beef that we got now is not beef, because the beef was like, just imagine you go into a spot and someone's performing on stage and no one gave you the plan that what they were going to do. They just said, we're going to the Sound Factory. So I'm figuring, when you say you got beef or a battle, you let somebody perform, then you snatch the mic, and then you do a song, and then you have the whole crowd go, ah! And that's that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do all of that, pick somebody up, throw them off the stage, snatch the mic, and
that was, they had the biggest song in the country at the time, right? PM Dawn. That song was a number. I can't understate how big that song was. It was a crossover hit, and KRS just got on the stage and then dashed him off. Just because.
That was very, very monumental for me, and it taught me that when you're in this game, you can't be whack and can't talk out of line, and you really need to get your respect on that level before you can say anything, because Boogie Down Productions was just not the group to be messing with from the rip. No one would say anything. First of all, you're not going to beat KRS One in the battle. That's number one. But you had a great record. It was about flowers and meadows, and everybody's happy. Then you're dealing with somebody that was in a group home that was homeless, that comes from nothing, and then you antagonizing him when he's got the whole streets,
the whole of hip hop behind him.
So it was it was definitely monumental.
And you said his song came on afterwards, did it?
Kenny Parker, his brother.
Parker just grabbed went to the house DJ set and just threw on Chris's record.
Told the guy to fuck off, and played the tune. Just proper raw.
One came on and it was just like, what the?
Do you reckon that could even be possible?
And that was, I think that was, I was young, man. I was maybe 20. Maybe.
And where was it? Where was it?
Garden.
It was in Manhattan. It was in Manhattan at a club called the Sound Factory.
Do you think that's even possible to do nowadays with all the security and there's no vinyl? It's not like you could just take the vinyl off, put your own vinyl. It's all USB.
Imagine when you can slap the vinyl down.
Those times was done with, man. And that's what I always say. I say what's wrong. They say what's wrong with hip hop, and I'm gonna say there's no more fear in hip hop. It's not a fear of anybody can shoot and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fear of the element of surprise. That was the part that it was like a barrier or a force that was invisible that kept the whack shit, and the dope shit.
Because you would get dissed. You would get dissed live on stage in whatever, like breakdancing, whatever it was.
Yeah, you couldn't be like today. They want to cancel you out if you say some truth of an opinion or fact. They're mad at you now. Oh, you hurt my feelings. I can't believe you said that. When I grew up, when I started, I had friends that tell you, hey, man, yo, bro, yo, K, I think you need to work on that a little bit more, man, before you let everybody else hear that. And you took that as constructive criticism, and you worked on your craft to become better. Now, you got people coming in and saying, oh, you did that? You made that? Oh, man, that's great. And it sounds just pure ass.
I did the video myself, and I did this myself, and now it's in your face when it shouldn't be in your face. It shouldn't have made it through those levels.
It's really bad because people can wake up and say, I got a laptop, I got FL Studio. Guess what? I can make a record and I can put it on SoundCloud and have it out in no time. I can do my own video, and guess what? Boom, I'm here.
Boom, it's out.
Because they were hurdles.
And now I'm running my mouth and saying how I'm sick and all of this and all of that when you've never, ever had to earn the right to be able to talk like that, back in the day.
Probably the reason why, I just don't really listen to. I don't listen to none of this new stuff no more. It's nothing personal.
Well, there were hurdles you had to jump through back in the day. Like you couldn't just walk into a recording studio and make a fucking song. You had to know people. You had to work on your craft. You had to get to a level where you would be invited to one of these places or paid to go to one of these places, or raise the funds.
Think you're good enough to start bringing you in, like you come on the next whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of with
pirate radio station, this and whatever.
Right. The art was supposed to be first, man, and that's lost now. You know?
But brilliant times, man. Brilliant times.
Because I was going to ask, one of my questions was, like, what do you think is one of the main differences between the 90s and nowadays, especially when it comes to producing hip hop and stuff? Obviously, the sampling element is a big thing, but
Well, I always say this, and, you know, first of all, I don't put myself on a pedestal and say I'm this, that, and the third, but Dr. Dre did sample one of my records.
Yes.
Dr. Dre has only sampled.
Everybody sampled one of your records.
He's only sampled 2 East Coast records ever, and that was one of Snoop Dogg's songs for Eric B. for President and my song for Real Life Shit. For
Real Life Shit. That's what I was going to play.
You know, what's amazing to me is that when I was coming up, the competition was, you know, DJ Premier, Pete Rock, Large Professor, Digging in the Crates, RZA.
We've had
wait, you're saying you were feeling like they were competition in terms of beat making back then, or
that is what I was. That's the 90s what I was faced against. That's what I was faced against. Those were the level of guys that I had to deal with. If my records were to come out and I wanted to have some kind of impact, I had to go against those guys. You know what I'm saying? Those that's the competition that I had, and all those guys that I mentioned are incredibly nice in their own right. You know what I'm saying?
Legends, yeah.
I had to deal with that. Now, you know, you could go up against Joe Schmo from Idaho. You know, that's all you got. You know, there's no nothing. You know, it's whatever. You know, and then if you say something about it, it's like, why are you hating, or why are you you're mad or disgruntled old man because these young dudes is getting it and you guys are not getting it? Nah, it's not that. It's just that
they're not getting it.
Privy to criticism. We had to endure that criticism to become better, to become nice. We didn't get names by just saying, oh, look, he has a name. Look at his name. It's a cute name. You know what? Let's run with that name. That's a great name. No, those names had really dope records behind them. And we've lost that now. Everything now is, it's not about the art.
No,
it's not about the art. It's about how many likes, how many clicks, how many followers, how much negative stuff I could say to make me look like a big guy. And you know, it takes away from the whole culture of the whole thing, man. It's bad. It's bad.
And everyone's they're chasing that dragon of going viral now. You know what I mean? And it's like anyone can go viral in many different ways, whereas back in the day, you couldn't go viral unless the tunes were good. And another thing, a big thing, I don't know, Kay, if you can, if you agree, another thing is now there's just oversaturation. Like you said, everyone is fucking doing it. So when a project comes out, it's like, it becomes way more disposable because people don't have much time to marinate with it or to talk about it or even compare it to other things. Like, you know, people back in the day, an album would come out, you'd save your money, buy the physical copy, sit with your Walkman or whatever, listening to it over and over again and like kind of like really relishing it before moving on to the next one.
There's probably an easy answer, and I don't even like the word, but it's just what it is. But there's no more gatekeeping. And it seems like, you know, anybody and everybody can do whatever they want to do. The quote, independent is where it's supposed to be at now. If you're independent, man, I'm going independent, you know? And, you know, there was independence back then, but the truth of the matter is the major was the one that was spending the money on the marketing and the promotion. And there was always somebody in a major that actually, let's say, couldn't do the music, but knew what it was supposed to sound like. And we don't have that now. There's nobody policing what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. And I blame that a lot on our era because we just, we just let it go by the wayside. But everything sounds the same. And it's been sounding the same for the last 15, almost 20 years now. You know, I had a friend pull up his Serato one day, and he curated a playlist from 2014 to 20, because it was 2024 at the time he let me hear it last year, from 2024. And I kid you not, there was about 600 records in this particular crate that he had. And there were about 10 songs in a row, different years, different times. And I kept saying, dude, didn't you just play that record?
Mm.
Like, nah. Oh, word? Nah, that's so-and-so. Wow. Everything is in the same key. Everybody's using the auto-tune. Everybody's using the same type of harmonic melody. Everybody's using the 808 drum beat and the hi-hats and the fast robotic speed tap in, running down the highway at 100 miles an hour hi-hats.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I'm not supposed to say that I don't like that. And that's what you call that's what everybody's doing, that you need to do it. And I'm saying every person that I came out with in the 90s had their own unique style and sound. Everybody sampled. Everybody did drum beats. Everybody used their own rap style, but nobody sounded the same. And if you sounded remotely close to somebody's same, you're biting. You're biting, and you get ostracized out quickly.
Yeah. I mean, a perfect example of that, I mean, I think that comes to my head is Jay-Z. Early on, he had that skibbity-bibbity-bibbity flow, but then there was Daz Effects, and there was another guy doing that, so he had to flip it. He had to change it, or else people were going to diss him. And
nobody was mad at him for doing it, because guess what? He got the memo. Yeah. And, you know, I'm glad he did get the memo, or we'd be just talking about him like everybody else that fell victim to the trap. You know? So
yeah. And you describe, you said the word policing as a word for the gatekeeping thing. I think I would consider it less like, because I picture someone going around going, no, that's shit, that's shit, that's shit. I look at gatekeeping as like back in the day, before the internet and all that, there was hip hop radio show, and there was a DJ on that show, and you'd listen to him, and the songs he played, he was kind of the filter. He'd listen to all the shit, get all the promos, whatever, pick out what he felt was good, and put that out to you. And you'd be like, okay, I know what he's going to play is going to be dope. And you know, and then you'd have several of them, you know, not just one guy and only he's the one gatekeeper. No, there'd be several of them, but you'd know they knew their shit. They had good taste. You find the one that you like the most, and then boom, and you got a
Stretch and Bobito.
Yeah, Stretch and Bob, whatever.
Let me redact that statement about policing and gatekeeping. I need to be a little bit more precise in what I mean. You know, there was a time where not everybody could just get a record deal. Okay. And, you know, when DJs, and I'm not throwing them all under the bus, but I come from a record pool. I was getting records from a record pool from all over. Everybody who made records is a record pool, and you get to listen to whatever. And the DJ would go into the parties and the clubs whenever he got gigs, and he would play the freshest new tunes or whatever he felt was really great, and he was feeling it. He would let the public hear it. And guess what? When the crowds would hear certain records, they would immediately go to the radio stations and demand that you play this record because it's
you
hot.
got to play this record. Yeah.
Okay. Now, and it has been for a very long time, guys, it's a thing called payover. Oh, that's illegal. You can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. That's illegal. No, it's organic. It's all right. Let's just call it what it is. When you got DJs that are in radio, and this is before digital streaming and onlines and all this live stuff, DJs would every Friday go to record labels, and they would gather the new records that were coming out. They would get promos, white labels, you name it, to test to see what the buzz would be. Well, that stopped because it got to a point that certain identities were making a lot of money when they were putting records out. They would go and push past the DJs going to the record labels And they would wind up going to the radio stations themselves and saying, look, I'm going to give you these 5 racks right here. I need you to play this for the whole week. And if you don't do it, you get out of this. When you get out of work, we're going to be downstairs to see you, son.
Oh, shit.
And people try to say, no, that didn't happen. No, that didn't happen. That's against the law. You can't do that. But I know because I was at radio stations. And I see
it happened.
What's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But who am I to say something about it? I'm a DJ producer. I'm not a record label affiliate. I'm not into radio. I'm just watching it go down. And I'm saying, no one's saying and doing nothing about it. More and more new people are jumping on this ship and this bandwagon of doing it because guess what? It gets results. And then you wonder why. Wow, how did this dude get 500 spins on this song? And you sitting there going, the song's all right. But what happened to all the other songs that's hot? How come they not getting played? They're not getting played at all. So
they get muscled out.
It got out of hand. Now that everybody says radio is dead, and now everybody don't want to online listening to stuff and Spotify and streaming the songs and curating their playlist. And you mentioned it clearly when you said it used to be a time you make an album, you save up your money because everybody couldn't wait, look forward to getting an album. Now they don't want your album, they want your single. Whatever single you got, that's great. I'll buy that. I don't care about the album because when you got so many people putting out so much music consistently all the time, I think there's like almost 1 million songs coming out a week or something from all people that's making
at least
today.
1 million.
And I'm sitting there going, you want to talk about congestion? It's worse than traffic on the worst day of traffic outside in your car. It's way worse now because there's no filter. There's no hold up. You guys got to get on the line and you got to pay the toll. And that toll is probably going to be a 2-hour wait. You got to wait before you can get here. You can't just come in and just cut through the line and get through and through the toll. And that's the problem now. That's what I mean by policing and gatekeeping. There's no filter. There's like, I'm not here to say, I'm not saying you shouldn't put your music out or do it, but it's like, dude, can you at least go to somewhere where somebody can actually review your shit and see that if it's really worthwhile putting it out? Does it have any substance? Does it make any sense? Are you going to improve the people? Are you going to make this world a better place? Or are you talking about sex, drugs, and violence, which we've been hearing since the early 90s, man? Come on, make it make sense. I'm 55, bro. I'm 55. You know what I'm saying? I've been here a long time since hip hop started. Yeah. So my personal view and take is not a bitter old man, or I'm not mad. We're just having a conversation.
It's the truth, man. It's the fucking truth.
What's going on, and why don't people talk about it more? Because a lot of people are in their feelings, man, and some people don't want to own up to what the real truth is. If it's whack, it's whack. I know I've made mad records. All my records are not dope. I can tell you that right now. I can stand on that. I don't feel ashamed about it. You could be like, this joint right here, I wasn't really feeling that. I'll be like, you know what? I wasn't really feeling that too, but I just did it because you know what? It was at the time right there and I had to keep it moving. But I learned from that. I'm not going to keep making stuff that you're going to tell me, I don't know, man. I wasn't really feeling that. You shouldn't do that. You don't make hit records by not learning from your mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're in a different time now. I'm not with no artist right now where I could be like, I got to take the gamble of, he might pop and he might fail. I'm going to put it out. No, I'm not even beat no more. I don't care no more. You know what I'm saying? I made classic records that will go down in history. You know what I'm saying? That I can say that I just wasn't into hip hop to say I was just into hip hop. I actually made hip hop.
Fucking hip hop.
Wikipedia me and Google me, and you know that I'm somebody that actually contributed to music and not just here talking shit about music. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I want to play a tune, man, of yours, man, because you've got so many fucking bangers, man. It's insane.
Fucking bangers.
Like this one, you mentioned it before. You and Larry O, your cousin, had a crew called Real Live, yeah?
Oh, wow.
And this was this
serious?
You said you made an album for that other label and then it went defunct wherever the guy went to jail, so that album never came out. So this is the second album you guys made, technically.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
I think this one came out in 95, so it's not one of your first productions, but definitely for the Real Live ones that came out. But let me...
Right.
let me play a little bit of it, and then we'll chat. Is that Marly Marl?
Yep, that was
good. Yeah.
I'll leave a froze like heroin in your nose. I'll leave a froze like heroin in your.
This beat is so fucking hard, man.
I'll leave a froze like heroin in your. Never underestimate the real life. The gun slinging fat Mac, a sick type of fuck. Who that? I left blood stain in every spot that I rock. I'm representing Jersey, spitting rhymes like a clock. Into the Cape Fear where MCs be shell shocked. I got the stash in my dash with the stock and the ooh-wah. Who the gun abuser? Who the stupid hooker user? The pimp with the blow counting bank in the Land Cruiser. I get a charge from the sound of the bus. I was made to crush. I'm wetting rappers till they rust. Plus my regiment is elite, mega deep. 20 steep, we creep in a 5-car fleet. That's how I'm bouncing for the 9/5, son. We don't promote no masquerade, cause we was players from day one. We start trends, we make hits. K-Def and Larry O be on some real live shit. I'll leave a froze like heroin in your nose. K-Def and Larry O be on some real live shit. I'll leave a froze like heroin in your nose. K-Def and Larry O be on some real live shit.
Nice. That is nice.
Man, and like I tell you one thing, even here in the UK when that came out, like I got a lot of friends who are DJs who cut it up and do the DMCs and all that stuff. They were telling me when I told them we're gonna have you on this week, they were telling me, tell him how much that beat they used to beat juggle with, like it was a thing here for a while, man. And that sample is quite a mad sample to use as well. The way you cut it up and put it in there is incredible, man. Like, what sample is that anyway? Is it a movie soundtrack or something, or no?
That was an African primitive music album.
Oh shit!
That was part of a library study, and I'll just give you a hint. It was Lalo Schifrin.
Oh wow! Okay, Lalo Schifrin, amazing, legendary musician.
Right. So you know, it wasn't no loop or anything. It was actually a bunch of chops of sounds that was in throughout the record, and it was it was that record was. Me and Larry was trying to get our deal at Big Beat, and we had 3 songs done, and that one. I think I had a lot of pressure on me. The way I was feeling, like I produced all these other groups before me, the Lords and Traj and Sabi and Day One and oh man, so many other groups and songs.
And that was under Marly Marl. That was at the Hit Factory, right? Yeah. So yeah, you were churning out mad beats.
Right. And I felt like, you know, it was finally my time to shine as far as being an artist, because I was just producing everybody, and I felt like, you know, I was from Jersey. You know, I would be in mad studio sessions, and they would all say, "Oh, you Jersey dudes want to be like New York all day long." So I had a little chip on my shoulder, and I was pissed. I was really pissed inside, because I'm like, nah, homie, I don't understand. You don't understand. Like, I'm different. I was exposed to the New York scene at a very young age, so I got to see what y'all was doing. So it wasn't like I was just sitting here fumbling around when I'm like, all my breaks I was getting them from Jersey. Like, all the records that I was getting was from Jersey. I wasn't coming. I would go to New York and buy records, but all the main joints that I was getting was from Jersey. And, you know, I wanted to make a statement. And I thought, when I did realize Larry was sleeping in my crib, I had a condo. He was sleeping in my condo. It was 5 a.m. and I was smoked out of my mind. And when I took the one hit and the string hit, and then I was going dun dun dun, and I was trying to figure out, what could I do? What could I do? And when I finally put it together, I remember I ran out to Larry in the living room, in my living room. I said, "Yo, I think we got one." He said, "What you mean?" I said, "I think we got one."
You knew straight away.
Yeah, I knew. You know what I'm saying?
Straight away. Yeah.
So I woke him up. He got sleep in his eye. He coming in, you know, it's 5 a.m, so I can't really blast it loud. And I played it, and I never forget. Larry's a big boy. Larry said, "Oh my God, it's over. Oh, it's over. It's over. It is over. It's over. It's over. Cuz it is over. Cuz we out of here. This is it." And I never forget when the A&R heard it, he lost it. And then I ran into Primo, and I heard Primo heard it in a college, and he went crazy. And he was like the first one to get the test pressing of the record. And then Funkmaster Flex and everybody else started getting a whiff of it. And that record probably, like, Chief Rocker was my biggest hit record. But Real Life Shit is you could say whatever you want about K-Def, but what you're not gonna say is, yeah, that Real Life Shit beat was a problem. We had New York on lock. That was one that I could say that, yeah, if all else failed and that was the end of ends, that song, I could say, oh yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Wasn't touching that beat. Yeah, you wasn't touching that beat. Till this day, just your expression over that beat just shows me of how impactful it was. You're talking
You wasn't touching that beat.
Right. You're talking about DJs in the UK beat juggling off of it. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was
not everybody can come up here.
And it became
for the street.
It became one of them beats, like freestyles would always happen on it. They always put that one on, especially for that time as well, man.
Right.
Incredible. Okay, you mentioned Lords of the Underground. We gotta play it. Since you're here, man.
Yeah.
We gotta play it. Right. Chief Rocker. Let's just get into Chief Rocker, man.
You must have known when you made this as well. Like the first time you put those bitches together, you were like, "Yo, we got another one." We got another.
Is that you cutting it up as well?
It's like an anthem. It's an anthem. This is a worldwide hip hop anthem.
Say what I want because I'm that type of guy. Now family, I'll be damn slim, so weak. Couldn't beat the smoke weak, that makes the sauce so funky. Now hold on, let me choose. Couldn't beat the booze, no, it's the shoe. The shoe? It's gotta be the shoes. Cause girlies, they crack. They stand around the dock, so I say boom, shack a lot. Grab the microphone, the rock. To take the truth when on the mic, I'll say anything that sounds good. Like trump and sound over some, they got a hat and a mouse run up the stairs. Come on, who cares? See, everyone's out to get the show, so don't be trying to knock me. I say what I want to say as long as it sounds funky. Some MCs wanted to buy me, so they try to take stands. But they don't understand, I'm the motherfucking man. I am his and us down. Lift them up and down, smack a few of them around. Let them know who is the girl, who's the tip of the top, the cream of the crop, the best another song. I'm the Lord Chief Rocker number one. The Lord Chief Rocker number one.
Oh my days, man.
What's crazy about that song, and I forgot to mention when I mentioned all the producers that I was mentioning as far as the people that I had to contend with.
Your peers, yeah.
DJ Premier was another one that I looked up to and I idolized as well. And if you all don't know, like, I sampled Gangstar and Chief Rocker. The drum beat that you hear is Just to Get a Rep.
Oh shit, okay.
So Primo has actually got credits on Chief Rocker.
On that.
Oh, I did not know that, man. What is there open drums at the beginning of Just to Get a Rep?
Yeah, but I put another drum beat on top as well.
Sorry.
Yeah, right there. That part right there. Right where you was playing. That's Just to Get a Rep. Right
Mr. Funky.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to play Just to Get a Rep as well, just to remind myself.
Yep.
Was that at the beginning?
Hey, yo, but I say we just get...
Actually, no, let me play that.
More like in the verse. Like...
Cause
I can hear it even now. I can still hear it.
And at the sight of a 4/5, I guess you just might. All your money. It's a daily operation. He might be loose in the park or lurking at the train station. Mad brothers know his name. So he thinks he got a little fame from the stick-up game. And while we're blaming society, he's at a party with his man. They got the eye and the gold chain that the next man's wearing. It looks big, but they ain't staring, just thinking of a way and when to get the brother. They'll be long gone before the kid recovers and back around.
I had the instrumental of
yeah, so it didn't have the rapping on it. Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah.
What was their reaction then? The Lords of the Underground. Were you just focusing on them? You were making beats for them at the time, and that was what you were working on, or were you just had loads of beats?
Yeah. What happened was I was upstate, and then I went home. I went back home to my mom's in the crib, and I was there, and I remember I smoked some weed, and I started making that beat, and then I made the beat. Then I got a call. I was home, and I got a call from Do It All. And Do It All was like, "Yo, you gotta come up to the house, man. Yo, something crazy's going down. Yo, Mr. Funk, man. Yo, you gotta come down. You gotta come over." So I go upstate. I bring the disc with me. I go upstate, and we're upstairs in the C room in Marly's house. We upstairs, and Do It All lets me hear a freestyle from I believe it was Lord Finesse. Shout out to Lord Finesse, that's my boy. And he was ripping Mr. Funk at the time. And he was like, "Yo, man, we need a track, man. We need a track." And I'm like, I just did this beat last night, and I never forget when I played that Chief Rocket beat from the Do It All.
Man.
Yeah. So this is it. This is it. This is what we need. And that was like, they both heard it, and they just, they went crazy. Marly loved it. I mean,
sick.
And it was like I think it was like, when I came in, it was like some songs need to be remixed that they had already done that I came in and fixed. And they had just got, I think, 12 inches to check it. So there was something in there for me to cut as far as in the hook. And I kid you not, it took me 10 years to figure out how I made that beat.
Oh, wow.
That's how smoked out I was.
Oh, shit.
That's how smoked out I was. It took me 10 years to figure it all out.
What did you make it on? What machine did you make that beat on?
MPC 60.
MPC 60, right? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, and when you were blunted, that was the beat you were going to work on it every night, kind of getting lost in it and like really involved in it.
And the funny thing is,
10 years on that bitch?
I did it in 2 hours. I did that beat in 2 hours.
Okay.
And then I forgot how I made it.
Do you still smoke? Do you still smoke now, or have you knocked it on your head? Yeah. You do a little bit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Me too.
We all smoke.
You get old and stuff. You gotta be careful. There's some powerful stuff out here nowadays. You can sit around in the corner and have a panic attack or something because you don't have it's too strong. But I still do it. I mean, that was like one of the joints that I felt like I didn't realize how special it was till once I really did figure out how, and some of the elements I knew what I did, but I was curious on how I took this bass note and did the bass line. And the vibe, I knew how I got the vibe, but the bass note was the problem because you know how many people asked me over the years, "Yo, dude, I've been looking for that sample forever." And I'm like, it's not a sample.
Oh, right. So it's not like a low end, a lot of, especially back in the early 90s, there was the low end theory, with Tribe and all that. So there was a lot of samples, bass lines, just from like filtering out a sample and using the low end.
Right. We had it real bad because Marly was a target for sample clearances. So we had to clear everything. I mean, everything had to, we couldn't get away with nothing because they was on Marly from LL and stuff like that. So when I got, he was like, yo, we got to make sure we clear everything, man. So I was like, all right, bet. So, he was like, yo, if you good, man, start playing some of the stuff, man. Start playing notes and trying to play it, And it's not, if not, we can get some engineers or some musicians to come in and play. And I went home and I remember everything but the bass line. I couldn't figure it out. Because you know, a bass line is a bass note. So basically, you do 16 tuning levels, and you got one note, but it gets spread across all the pads at different pitches. So I'm trying to go. How did I go? Because I didn't know nothing about playing. I wasn't no musician. I was just going by ear.
Just doing by ear. Yeah.
And
like a lot of producers, like hip hop producers back in the day.
You know,
yeah,
some
most
stuff
of them
sounded good. Yeah, some stuff sounded really bad, depending on what it was. But you know, for the most part, you know, I took it as in stride, and I was just like, well, one day, about 10 years later, I was like, I'm gonna tackle this on. So I got my hands on. Hold on, let me just show this real quick. Hold on, 1 second.
10 years later.
Damn.
Sits down for another zoot and thinks, let me have a look.
I'm wondering what that plaque in the back there, I can't read what it is. What's it for?
Oh, that's for High School High soundtrack before I get down from mine, real live. But
sick.
This bad boy right here,
this
was MPC Renaissance. So, and like when I first got my Renaissance, I was like, I want to do Chief Rocker over. And plus, you know, I wanted to have my own master because I didn't have the tape or nothing. I wanted to make my own master. So I wanted to make a masters to all my music that I made. So, and I figured it out. And when I figured it out, I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and post it on Instagram and throw a little clip of it. Dude, I posted that on Instagram. And I had about 25,000 people look at the video, thousands of comments. And I'm reading through some of the comments, and they're like, I didn't know he did that beat. I thought Marly did that beat.
Yeah.
And, you know, clearly, you know, if you bought the record when it came out and looked at the credits, it would tell you that it was produced by K-Def.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like, that's another thing I think that's crazy with today's time is where it's like, you know, you got to see if you can find it on Google to get information. Because a lot of our peers are no longer here, or if they are here, they're not talking about it. And then the people that's called journalists and podcasters and researchers and news and media, they kind of cherry pick on what they want to talk about and kind of leave out the stuff they need to talk about because it only helps the culture understand a little bit more that time. The 90s music is the most sampled music in 2025. Why is that? And I'm looking at it that so if you guys are sampling stuff from the 90s, then why aren't you guys trying to find out what the 90s were sampling from the 70s and 80s and redo it better than what the 90s did? I don't understand that theory. That's just me. I could be wrong, but
that's a nice theory, man.
Yeah, but like you said as well, like the competition in the 90s, when you were finding those samples, you had to dig deep so that you wouldn't use a sample that's already been used. And then if it was a sample that's already been used, you got to flip it completely to make it unique to your style.
You couldn't sound like nobody.
You didn't want to sound, yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what, talking about ill beats, and I think there's a story behind this one as well. I just want to jump into it. Hold on. I go back to my playlist I had here. It's with the Youngsters, Mad Props. We'll listen to it quickly. But yeah, I know. I don't even know if it's a sour memory for you or not, but I want to get into it.
Nah, it was great.
All right, beautiful. Okay, here's the Youngsters, Mad Props, produced by K-Def.
Yeah, I remember watching this.
I'm getting busier.
This, I love this.
I'm getting busier. Hey yo, knock, open up, let me in. Where's my pen? So I can figure the name to marble seats to no win. I'll be as like as a box to get props, to get cops, and any other type of pit stops. It'll have to be the way the ball bounce. When I announce I'm a kilo and you're announced, you can't step in this because I'm certified. You better hide or it'll be a homicide. It's the Youngsters Jack, and you better recognize the fact that we can rip up in track. Other groups talk, but they don't want none. They know they get done, so now they on the run. Ease up, I got the Glock, cock. Listen to me rock, cause downtown was hot. Cause we can go on and
busier. I get busier. Is that a filtered? That's a filtered bass.
Behind that too, man.
I get busier.
It's a real story behind that one.
Go for it, man.
So, as you know, I was with Marly Marl in the House of Hits, and Marly Marl is a production company. So basically everything, all the work, all the groups, all the people came through the house, and, you know, we would, you know, work whatever. So the youngsters, before I get to the youngsters, we had a meeting at Sony. And it was me and Marley, MC Search, and Nas. Nas was on the tail end of Illmatic. And Nas wanted that Mad Props beat. And it was supposed to be on Illmatic.
Whoa, man.
But the powers that be didn't happen. And I'm going to leave that one there. On that note, it didn't happen. But yeah, Nas did want that for, that was supposed to be on Illmatic. That was supposed to be the last song.
He personally said, "Yeah, I want this, I want this." Yeah.
Nas were in a conference, and Sony, E. Marley, Nas and Search, and Search and Marley were talking, and me and Nas were talking. And me and Nas were at a conference table talking. And he was like, "Yo, son, I love this beat. This beat is crazy. I gotta have this on my album." Now, mind you, I like that beat because I knew that.
Yo, I can really picture him on that beat. I can really hear
his rap flow would sound really good over that beat. You know what I'm saying? Because
100%.
Illmatic, you know, he had a lot of kind of stuff like that. But anyway, he didn't use it. So the youngsters came, and the youngsters heard it, and that was like immediately they wanted that joint. And that was like the second single from the album, actually. The first single was Hip Hop Ride. Marley did the first single, and then Mad Props was the second single. And I did like 4 joints on the album. And they had some other joints too that was bangers that I really liked. That was really dope. The youngsters was just, you know, it was like they were on East West Atlantic, and at that time they really didn't know. East West Atlantic didn't know nothing really what they were doing with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those labels that picked up hip hop and didn't really kind of know what to do. I mean, Das EFX was on it, and I think Das EFX really did good when they first came out because the people dictated that it was a really good record with They Want Effects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it was unique at the time as well.
Yeah, it was unique.
It stood out.
There was different style and everything. You know, it was definitely unique. And the youngsters was dope because they were kids and they had boom bap hip hop, you know, in their music. But you know, it was a fun time with them. It was a fun record to make. You know, and I'm still cool with Taj. I talk to him now and then, every now and then. He's a good dude. And yeah, man, it was just like, the youngsters was dope. I had nothing but fun with them, man.
Incredible. You know what, K-Def?
Yeah, they killed it as well. They killed it on that.
Yeah, they were great. They're one of them. And I think like when you talk about young MCs who are young, at that time there was like Shaheem, there was the youngsters. I think Mobb Deep were quite young at the time. Nas even, he was what, 17, 18?
Well, what year was this? Did it drop?
94.
Yeah, 94. Damn. Sick, man. Damn, and like I don't want to take up too much of your time, Kay. So because we want to do a little segment where we play you some classic UK hip hop that came out, you know, some older, some more new, and just to kind of get a reaction from you, whether you like it or not, and you can go deeper or not if you want. It's up to you. It would just be nice because we did the same thing when we had Diamond D on. We've had him on the pod, and it was quite fun to do. Also, we do here is a graffiti critique where people who listen, they send us their graffiti for us to critique their graph. And similar to what we were talking about before, about how back in the day, in the 90s, people told you were whack to your face. You know what I mean? And that made you, and it wasn't supposed to do it to make you quit.
Especially in graffiti, by the way. So don't feel no two ways about saying anything, man.
Yeah.
If it's whack, it's whack.
And it was meant to encourage people to get better, as opposed to just pat them on the back and go, "Oh, yeah, that was nice." You know, just we tell them, "Look, I think it's shit. You got to work on this bit." You know how it is, yeah.
Okay.
So what should we get into first, though? Maybe we play you a couple UK tracks, man. What do you think? We'll get into that for the time being. Theme, should we go with one of yours? I know one I wanted to play.
No, play one. Play whatever you want.
All right. This is
I like this idea. It's a good little idea.
let me ask K-Def, what do you know? Do you know much about hip hop from in Europe or in England or anything, or you've been out of the loop?
I was probably the last thing I remember messing with was a guy from Russia, I think.
Oh, okay.
Legalized. I think that's the last guy I actually produced some joints with him. But I really, usually when I can't understand what you're saying, that kind of like, if you on beat,
it's a barrier.
You tight on the beat and all that, I can follow that. But usually when I really don't understand what you're saying, I gotta hopefully and pray that the beat is vibing and you're grooving, on the beat.
Yeah.
Well, this one, okay, this is the rapper.
Especially in something like Russian, man. That's like not like any other language whatsoever, ever.
True.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's true. I mean, we're blessed here in Europe because we got so many different countries and different languages, all kind of like in close proximity with each other and stuff. And even if you don't understand like in France, I'm sure in France, it's got a huge hip hop culture there and a big scene, and it's been going strong since the 90s, man. You know what I mean?
I've been actually I was out in France, man. I DJ'd out in France with Lord Jazz one time. He brought me out there and I DJ. Yeah, France
sick.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Okay, so this track is by a legendary UK MC called Roots Maneuver. He actually produced this track as well, so he produced and raps on it. It's quite a unique kind of beat. I think it came out in the year 2000, maybe 99, but I think 2000.
What are you going to play? Witness?
Witness the Fitness by Roots
see what
Maneuver.
the day is. I'll see what the day is.
All right. Let's go if it loads up.
It's nice.
Taskmaster burst the bionic zit splitter. Breakneck speeds, we drown 10 pints of bitter. We lean all day and some say they ain't productive. Could that depend upon the demon that you're stuck with? Cause right now, I see clearer than most. I sit here contented with this cheese on toast. I feel the pain of a third world famine. Said wait, we count them blessings and keep jamming. Tis him, scumbag, scum of the earth. His worth was nil until he gained the skill of tongues. From 15 years young, straight to my grayback self. I stay top shelf material. Jerk chicken, jerk fish. Break away slave bliss. Generate G's and then we stash them with the Swiss. Fools can't see this. Under your pistols, a fist full of hip-hop duns. I progressing in the flesh. Esoteric quotes most frightening. Duppy took a hold of my hand while I was writing. Leg on me ting, Duppy leg on me and I summon up the power of Banana Clan. Witness the fitness. The Graffiti live at. One hope, one quest. Witness the fitness.
Does he like it? Does he like it? Does he like it?
Witness.
So, your first impression?
Yeah, my kid is back and my wife is back.
Oh, okay.
Don't bother me. All right, so I would give it it's a cross reference. I think it's boom bap drums. It's to me somewhat more of a dub type of bass kind of vibe.
Yeah, it is.
And the rhymes are tight. And if I would rate it, I would not hate it. So I would say it's dope. I would
thumbs
listen
up.
to it.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad at that.
Because also here you got to keep in mind as well, during the 90s and then going into the 2000s, obviously there was hip hop here, but then there was a big reggae scene, obviously, big Caribbean communities here in London, sound systems. But rather than going down the hip hop like the way Kool Herc and all that and the block parties, here we had like it kind of ventured out into like drum and bass and garage, like more dancey up. All about the bass lines. We love the bass lines here, you know what I mean? In the UK, it's always been about the low and the bass lines and stuff. So I think that's kind of a crossover.
But that came from like Jamaica, really.
Yeah,
right.
That.
So I hear the reggae type element, and I also hear rapping wise, he has a persona like Foul Munch.
Even that's
Yeah,
a good,
yeah.
yeah, that's a good link there. Yeah, for sure. He had a very
Doesn't sound
unique
like
voice.
much, but he has the persona of the confidence, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I that's cool, Nate. Ain't nothing wrong with that one.
Wicked. All right, cool. Theme, you got one?
I was thinking, should I play like a French? Because you were talking about France, and
Nah,
I've
keep
always
it
listened to
UK.
Lane.
Keep it UK, man, please.
Keep it UK.
Yeah.
What about Reveal? What estate are you from?
Okay. Let's get
What estate
You know,
are
here
you from?
we say estate instead
The
of like
projects is the estate.
projects.
It's like Section 8.
I got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
All right, okay, hold on. Let's
So I
go.
was thinking about playing that NTM song for my people. That's a massive song.
It's a big one.
Song. What did I choose? Yeah, Reveal. What estate are you from?
All right, let's go.
This is from West London, and he's like a respected lyricist. This came out in 2005. It is produced by Harry Love.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sweating out. It's hot as hell in here.
I'm familiar with Harry too.
Oh, you know Harry,
Harry
yeah?
Love, brother. Yeah, yeah.
Boom.
This is like a West London anthem. What estate are you from?
Yo, we're trapped in the land of poverty. Crackhead mothers with sick babies. React with robberies, jack peds and rip AVs. Life is a roll of dice. Wait, let me rephrase that. Life has got more twists and turns than a game of snakes has. City we're living within. It's and grim. You either get high or get tipsy off of whiskey and gin. Illuminati, watch your steps by putting chips in your skin. You either run road or sweating in a prison or gym. I'm from the shadowy streets and my boys creep discreet. And if you got beef, it's standard that you buck with a piece. Just act natural.
Shut up! Reveal!
Detectives are and them blocks don't come cheap.
Don't come cheap.
I jack your system while I nod to the beat. Invest my cream in keys of green weed and blocks of hashish. Beanie see me as royalty. By the speed they drop to their knees, I blaze high grade. You never hear the pop of a seed. Yo, the whole world's like Sodom and Gomorrah. NATO supply arms so countries can bomb each other harder. It's bad karma, what goes around comes around. And in London town, Babylons will try to hunt us down, but we don't need them policemen who pull their truncheons out. Arrest us and tell us they're gonna gun us down. They can't touch my crown. I'm the king of the underground, and as soon as lightning strikes, you're bound to hear the thunder sound like a blow. Wood Green, Stonebridge, Chinkford, Brunel, Mozart, Goldburn, Finsbury Park, Clacton, Kilburn, Wilson, Kamatli.
These are like all different estates. All the names.
And what estate are you from? Why my man and brothers will take a cake and break you a crumb. You claim you kick doors down while you blazing your guns, but you're scared to approach me on roads, you plainly run. So what's the name of your slum? And what estate are you from? Why my man and brothers will take a cake and break you a crumb. You claim you kick
Harry
doors down while
Love.
you blazing your guns, but you're scared to approach me on roads, you plainly run.
Yeah.
Yo, I haven't heard that in headphones for a while.
All right. So this reminds me of an 90s Mob Deep type style beat track. I believe, how can I say this? He's tight. He's tight on the beat.
That's his debut single in 2005.
Right. It's cool, but the only thing, I'm not a fan of monotonous sounding raps. So if you're telling a story about your state or where you're from, and you're depicting pictures in your video to kind of describe the atmosphere and element, that turns into, to me, a narration. It should be a narration. And in a narration, depending on what you say in your rap, depicts the expression, the level of expression that you give out on a sentence. So if I'm talking to you right now like this, but if I say, but yo, I'm talking like this, see, that's different, right? Or, just like, that's different. You understand what I'm saying? It's called persona, charisma, arrogance, charm, anger, pain. All those are different personas in a person when they speak, depending on the situation. So I would say it's okay, but it's not moving me. That other song you played, it was more, and it wasn't even that much faster. This one ain't even that much faster than the last one.
Yeah.
Right? The other one sounded so much more lively, like an injection of energy. Right? Yeah, that's it. 100%. An injection of energy, and this one's more. Let's just sit up against the wall, guys.
Yeah, nod your head, mean mugging,
and let's just chill out right now while I'll say what I gotta say. You know, so I have rappers like that. I've done songs with rappers like that. So my criticism of it is that monotonous doesn't win with me because you fall into the realm of everybody else. You know,
it's easier to get lost.
Number one thing, right? I tell everybody a rapper this. I say, what makes you so different than everybody else? What can you actually say that's gonna make me engage to listen to what you have to say by just not saying words? Because, you know, if you're like, yo, man, I'm down and out, man. Yo, bro, I need some money, man. Yo, can you help me out? And then that's a whole level of emotion and passion that you have because you're fucked up. Now, if someone listened to you and they like, and you know already, you don't want to give somebody something, you're not going to give them that same energy back. Get the fuck out of here. Get a job, fuckface. Like, who the fuck? Where you think we at, man? This ain't freeloading in here. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just saying that I look at.
Get a job, fuckface.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's something that you could say is hip hop. You can even consider it even in boom bap. But as far as if you're saying like, could I hear myself going, yeah, I could bump that in my car all day long. That's hot. I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not whack. It's not whack.
Playing Black Twang so rotten. Playing Black Twang so rotten.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that would be a good one. But I was going to add to that, like, I think there was a period of time, I think in the 2000s, where there was a lot of, like, the word monotonous kind of beats, you know what I mean? And I used to call it, I'm not talking specifically about Reveal, but there was a general vibe going on. I used to call it chip on the shoulder rap. Yeah, it's like just rapping and complaining about shit and how everything's fucked and, you know what I mean, my life is fucked, and it's like kind of, but lyrically was top notch, you know what I mean, like even Reveal, like I think what drew people to Reveal were his punchline flows and the words he would rhyme, even though it was in a monotonous kind of like a way, but
he wasn't saying bad words, he wasn't saying nothing wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, I listened to him, he's talking about the elements that surround him or where he's at, what he's repping, and I get it. But then also you're showing me too that, you know, it's either depressing, where you're at, or you guys don't live a little bit, you know? I don't know.
I see what you're saying, man.
It was all back then. It was almost like that was a rite of passage. You had to do one of those tracks. And if you didn't do it well, it was kind of one of the ways of saying his shit. He couldn't do the hood track. He couldn't do that kind of track.
All right, here we go. This is another UK legend, Black Twang. This is a tune, legend. Probably his biggest hit.
Classic, massive, slight crossover onto like almost like, well, not mainstream radio. It became a big tune.
I kind of want to play him Detwork Southeast because I think K-Def will appreciate the sample and the beat on Detwork Southeast more so than this. But I'm going to play this one first and then maybe a sneaky bit of the other one.
Yeah, just play a short version. Just get the vibe of it.
You know what though? London and Jamaica. Why is it so rotten? Tony rapping alongside man like Marly Marl. Why is it so rotten? Original ghetto trooper for the people's army. Why is it so rotten? My people don't ask Tony rotten.
Again, the Jamaican influence, all that.
So rotten. My people love you forgotten. You don't need to be worried about what my name is or if I'm famous. You should be concerned if you're burning in Hades when fire blazes. Feel the fire, burn up your charts, burn up your playlist. Fire for them haters and fire for them fakers. Pump up the volume, wake the neighbors. Dredge and raise it. All of the youth tonight, they get to break the cages. It's been ages since you heard my style, but you know my style is rotten. You know rotten can't spoil, yo. Enough artists rich trying to become rich. They dish the 6 cents lyrics and chat beer
foolishness. It's an honest but nothing dropping from the bottomless. I'm dropping the program like a microfish. Check this, I'm still Thames Nick, still dip on the brick, still bang like pots and pans in your kitchen sink. Still don't snitch a whip, still wreck, still carry your thing, and I'm still rocking, so put it in print, yo, yo.
So rotten, right. My people love you forgotten, that it is so rotten. My people love you forgotten. Why is it?
All right, you get it. You get the picture. You get the picture of the vibe.
Yeah, you feeling that one?
Nice. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, that was dope.
Definitely, you can't use the word. You can't use the word monotonous to describe that, dude. That's for sure.
Nah, that's how you're supposed to sound if you're an artist and you come out, or you come out with this confidence and level of, I was built for this. This music right here, this track is built for me. No one can do it better than me, and I'm gonna let the world know about it. That's how you really make records, you know.
And that chorus is a sing-along chorus. When he does it live, everyone's singing along. So all right, you know, it's just an uplifting, beautiful song, man. But this is more grimy black twang. This is a bit earlier. This album came out, I think, in the late 90s, 97, 98. Anyway, let's go. It's because I know you love your dramatic samples. You know, even this kind of reminds me of that Larry O, the real life shit a little bit. But anyway, yeah, let's go.
That works out, Ace. Yeah. Original South London trooper. Black wine, live from the big smoke. Thames Link, London connections. Watch the ride and watch the bus. It's like this or that all across the map. I chit chat with a UK black twang when I rap, laying down facts like British real tracks. Cockney rhyming slangs and black conundrum, dip as a dungeon. This is how we function in London. From New Cross to Piccadilly Circus, in tower blocks across the circuit. No surplus, no deficit, no more, no less. South east or northwest, or straight or wheat or east. From Old Kent Road to Labrador Grove, I lay low, and the most of my biz on my cellular dug and bowl. We pass through and live in the castles. Take the back streets to save the hassle.
Let the chorus play, just the chorus. When it gets to the chorus,
where the skyscrapers meet the skyline. My eyes on the prize, not the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I want that from a clock, no. So I could go uptown and spend the Queen's heads in the West End. Check some mains with my regiment, lean from getting friend all weekend. Wrecking mics and collecting checks. It's that Rudy from the East End. Oi, it's Oi, with the rude boys in London. Worldwide in suburbs and in the city dungeons. Bumpers and speech, madden up the high street. Never eat shredded wheat. And Network Southeast.
All right, yeah, there we go, man. Network Southeast.
Wasn't that the album that
passed out in next door? All right. Yeah, guys, gotta let you know.
Go for it.
Not cutting it.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
You prefer the So Rotten track then?
I mean, it's. I don't know. I'm not even really feeling that beat. Actually, the beat was just. I don't know. Just, nah. Like
didn't make the cut, baby.
That last one and that first one are they sound like songs.
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah,
they don't sound like someone
like musical musician songs. Yeah.
Right. That one that you just played, it just didn't seem like the music was arranged to how he was rapping.
Well, but listen, okay, look, let's wrap this up, and we're gonna do just like one or maybe two Graff critiques, okay? Because people will get mad if we don't do it, man. Okay. So let's get into that, man. And again, I want to thank you again for your time, brother, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All good, man.
All right, let's see. Let's start with all right, let's go with this one. This one isn't too bad.
I can't really see it.
I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in a bit. Hold on.
Your head's in the way, though.
Oh, shit. No, wait, I'm going to zoom in a bit.
What world am I looking at? So, obviously, you're not going to ask me what that says because I could tell you.
No, I'll tell you. I mean, I'm looking at it for the first time. It says KONZ, Cons.
Yep. Yes.
There's a big fat arrow coming off the left of the K, and there's a big fat arrow coming off the right of the Z. But it says KONZ.
Yeah, and he's sitting there. You can see him. Yeah, he's a big fat bastard sitting on the top there.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Definitely Interesting.
Yeah.
See where his feet is at? Just scroll up there, man, by his feet. Yeah. So to the right of him, what's that? He just went over a piece.
Yeah, that went out. He must have gone over
he just went over that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So good. Yeah, just leave it right
so
there.
That's the main thing there. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you like the colors?
It is pretty good. It is pretty good. Yeah.
I don't like this arrow coming out of the O here. I think it deforms the O too much. It gets a bit skinny.
You was going to ask me what it said. If I had to read it out, you'd have got me. It took me about a good hour to figure out there was a K right there. But I see it, though.
Yeah, there it is.
Other than that, I mean, like I said.
We're taking you back to your roots in hip-hop when you first got into hip-hop.
Yeah, with the letters.
It was Graff.
That's okay. That's not bad at all.
It's nice. It's got a good bounce to the letters. I like the flow of it. There are certain bits that stick out to me that I'm not really feeling like because one thing
the
I
Z
like
bit, yeah,
this bit inside the Z here. Again, I'm nitpicking here because it's
it's clean though. It's definitely clean. It's
clean.
It's not clean.
Which means a lot, especially with a piece with a lot of colors and I like the highlight, well, the inside white outline. I really like the way the K is set up and the K flexes, but the Z with there's either too many arrows coming off the right bit of the Z, the Z, the Z, and then
the only thing I would say that I would knock is probably the two letters after the K. I think is a little too crunched together.
Yeah, I think the wall is going. The wall is going into a corner, so that might be part of the effect. But I agree with you. I think these two. He's definitely like Theme said, these big arrows coming off the side, so it's supposed to have that kind of effect. But yeah, I think he's lacking a little bit in definitely the O, the N.
It's still big up cons.
It's more the O.
It's quite nice.
Right, it's more the O. The O is like
the O is
but it's dope though. It's dope.
And I tell you what, for me, the red kind of reddy orange and the blues, I think they're a bit. Well, no, it works. It works. Okay, now I'm being an asshole now, man. All right, let's go one more. All right, this one says evolism, EVOLISM. It's a black outline. There's oranges and pinks and purples and blues going through it, and there's a bit of yellow weird spirals in the background and these shitty fucking stars here.
This one's maybe a little amateurish.
Yeah, definitely.
It's still like the craft of it's like that S specifically. I was doing that S like that in probably 85.
Okay. You didn't tell us what your tag was. What was your tag back then? KD. Okay, KD. All right. Well, there was no S in it though. Where did you get the S? Or you're just doing different words?
It was K period D. That was it.
All right. Okay.
Nice. A simple play
with the big Sharpie marker,
with the big Sharpie marker. I was too afraid to mess with the paint, man. I wasn't messing with no paint because it just be my luck. I start painting on somebody's wall. Hey, what's over there? And get locked right up. My first piece would be in jail. Nah.
What does this say on the right? The something is.
I was gonna try it.
When see the suit. Man,
the storm is gone when you see the
suit.
Yeah, the suit.
Wow.
Anyway, do a zoom out. I'll do a quick. I mean, I don't God knows what's going on in the middle of that O.
Yeah.
With like the trippy circle yellow. The left thing like sticking out of the E. Yeah, the beginning letter is a lowercase e. The thing coming out of the left of it, I mean, I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah.
It looks like an Arabic letter, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I just think that this looks like old school, like when you just really learning.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say learning. It's got learning written all over it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the shadow basically in the right places, but these like folds coming off the bottom of the M, like you said, Theme, this little bit just poking out there for no fucking reason.
I like the S, but you bit that off KD. So
yeah, exactly. So fuck you. And the shines here, like there's too many shines, and this one here at the end, they've gone a bit carried away with it. It looks more like a white marijuana leaf than a shiny bit,
but put the star on the L like that. Wow.
It's like a shine. It's like the highlights, but they don't even have highlights on it. So they just put like a bling.
Oh, so he did the same effect on above the L like he did in the O, but he made it opposite color.
Opposite color, yeah, with the yellow. And, yeah, like what the fuck? Just filling in the negative space. Yeah, it's just trying to. I don't know what they were thinking when they were doing that, man. But
yeah,
yo, man. All right,
that was
thanks,
brilliant.
Everyone, for sending in your graph. Keep sending them in, the email link and or through the DMs on the Instagram. Everything is below if you want to check it out. I was thinking we go out on one of your newer like instrumental stuff. I know you've got your Bandcamp here. Everyone can see on the screen.
We didn't even play How Live I Am, did we? We didn't even play that.
There are so many joints I wanted to get into. There was How Nice I Am. Yeah, How Nice I Am. One of my all-time favorite fucking...
How Nice I Am.
Oh my days! I really.
Oh no, my favorite one. My favorite one was.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah. Hold on.
I wrote it down. Fuck.
There
was... Mike Geronimo, 1997, For the Family.
For the family. Shit. For the family.
We can go out to that one.
And also the Ghostface Killa one. You know what I mean? You did one. You did joint with Moni Love. You did joints with fucking. Oh my god, we did.
He did everything. Everything you listen to and you like, he made it.
A quick one, maybe. I don't know if it'll be a quick reply, but who had the most ego? Who? Because you worked like you said in the Hit Factory and the hit makers, and you were working at Sugar Hill as well. You worked with so many different artists. Who had the biggest ego that was the hardest to work with and shit?
Do you want to share the hardest to work with? There's a few, but there's one that I can remember. It was probably Lynn Q.
Who?
Lynn Q, right. I don't know, you don't probably remember her, but
Lynn Q.
She was with MC Light at the time. I don't know, I think Lynn Q, she was part of X-Clan.
Okay.
But yeah, she was rough. Who else was rough?
How come? What, she was just turning up late or something, or she just like chatting shit, or
just a nightmare?
Nightmare. Oh my days.
Nightmare.
Okay.
Who else? Ghostface was cool. The Lords was cool. Traj was cool. War Now was cool. Sabi was cool. Day One was cool. I'm trying to just figure out. Let me see. Jail Felony was cool.
Okay, so you mostly it was you had good experiences with people. It's just the odd one or two.
I mean, there was always probably like a quick hot moment here and there, depending on who it was. Like, it'd be, like a snap or something, and you snap back, and then everybody break it all up and shut up and get back to work shit. But I didn't really have no real problems with nobody, actually.
No. Okay.
I thought I really could.
No, fair enough. And was it like, would some of these things, like you were saying earlier about being a producer and bringing the raw artist and trying to make a song, and you were trying to dictate people, with some, I assume maybe some people with bigger egos were like, who's this dude trying to tell me what to do, kind of thing?
The beginning stuff, I ain't gonna front. In the beginning, like 92 to like maybe 96, 97, I wasn't really being a producer. I was more just a beat maker.
Okay.
And it was only until those records came out and I had a few years to let me go by, and I started listening to some of the songs I did. I was like, what the fuck did I let this shit go by for? What the fuck is he saying? Why did I let them say it? And sometimes I heard a beat and like, damn, man, why the beat out of tune? The bass note is not so I was eventually in the early 2000s, when I took producing a lot more serious, and it was just like, I was going to run the show. When we went into the studio, I was going to run the show. I think.
Was Marly like that? Was Marly Marl like that? Was he very, like, he would be very hands-on with the artist?
Yeah, like, he was more into the vocals, or making sure the vocals was right, more than I was, because, I was just coming in making beats, and I wasn't really you know, it wasn't my show. You know what I'm saying? I was just work for hire in the beginning stages. I was just there making beats, and then I eventually got with them, and then eventually I learned the SSL board, and then I started kind of
really
taking over, doing my own thing, and then kind of like, you know, like Warring Now and stuff like that. I kind of had a bigger, more say, and then, you know, ironically, Lords and Underground, when we was working on Sabi, they were with me working with her, so to make sure, you know, her stuff was right. So sometimes the artist would kind of stick in on other artists and help out and yada yada. Traj was just, yeah, he was just trash. He was just ready to go. He was just he knew what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And it was like most of the time everybody kind of knew what they wanted. It was just like, you know, it was the ones that weren't really rappers like that were kind of getting deals or getting singles or able to go in the studio and say, oh, I went to the House of Hits, and you know, it was like a lot of that going on. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I didn't really get that serious till in the 2000s when I started kind of, and I left Marly in 96. I left Marly in 96 and I ventured off on my own little thing and started, you know, messing with Diddy and
you did the Diddy song, and that sample was used by Jay-Z. There's a whole fucking story behind that, I know, but we don't have time to get into it now. Yeah, I know it was a negative experience.
Never ending saga with K-Def stuff. Right?
Oh my days.
But it's all good though.
No, of course, man. You come out the other side. Yeah, you know what I mean? And but like out of these, because I know this new one, is this relatively new? When did this Pain
this
and Pressure
EP? Like a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And basically it's just, you know, the last 4 EPs are just straight MP like EPs of songs that capture a time, and ironically none of those songs have samples. So I left this open for artists that may hear it and want to rap over it, make a song over it. You ain't gotta worry about clearing nothing but clearing it with me, because I own the song. So all the songs, I own them. So it's like I'm trying to create sound from a time where I was sampling, but I'm making the songs that you would sample, but I'm making. So there's no samples, you know, easy to clear, you know, using stuff in television, movies, you know, remixes for mashups, whatever it is. There's no, you know, algorithm gonna block you or flag it, because I own the music. You know what I'm saying? I own the music and I own the master. So that's what I've been doing over the course of the years, is trying to figure out how to put music out and own the music and stop giving up copyright, publishing, dealing with clearances. This person wants this. Oh, K-Def. Oh, he got this artist on it. Oh, how big is that artist? Oh, he's a big artist. Oh, I want 30,000.
Yeah,
you know, to use it. Those days is over for me. I'm an old man now. You know what I'm saying? I'm an old man now. Those tactics don't work no more on me. Somebody else, hey, knock yourself out. But I'm in a place now where I want to make library music, soundtrack music, music that, you know, if you're a rapper and you pop up on the scene and you're in a club and they want you to kick a freestyle or kick a rhyme, you could take one of my joints and you can rhyme on it and just knock yourself out.
Boom.
Yeah. So
and like,
let's go.
Because I know you've had to do like a interpolation. Is that what it's called? When you can't clear a sample, so you just get musicians in to recreate the sample, change it slightly, and then use that on the beat. You've had to do that several times, right?
Yeah, I have done that multiple times, and even that was a headache. So I finally got a bunch of guys from all over the world. They all play certain instruments, how they play them, and I send a memo out of what I need to get done. They all report back to me what versions they have. I make sure they got tempos locked and everything, so they play into the tempo. And then I get it all back, and then I bring it back, and I mix it and put it all together and make a joint out of it.
Sick. That's ill. I think De La Soul did that with their last album because they've had mad sample issues on old albums. So in their latest album, well, maybe not their latest, but the one before that, they literally got a band in. They played for 7 hours. They had 7 hours of just original music made by this band, and then they cut it up, sampled it as if they were sampling a record, and made a whole album from that music.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, that's the way to go, man. Because
it's kind of
really bad now, man. You know, I mean, they got some people that can be lenient with the sample clearance and stuff, but then you're limited to only a certain amount of music. And
the thing is, I think because a lot of producers now, you know, they still like the more underground people who aren't selling big amounts, so they still can get away with using samples because they're only selling 5,000 copies, maybe 300 copies here. So they they go under the radar. But the fucked up thing is, if eventually that guy does reach a point where he makes a big hit, then everyone's going to be like looking through all his back catalog going, oh, he sampled this here, he sampled James Brown, and then now they're going to be coming at you, the lawyers and all that. And you're like, I made that 10 years ago. I was only 15 when I made it. Like, what the fuck?
No, you're right, man. You're right. That's the perfect way of looking at why, you know, it needs to be more people doing that kind of a change because, you know, trap is not really sampling like that. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that are sampling, they're sampling stuff from like Splice. You know, everybody's using Splice now, and it's cool. You know, it's cool, but you know, like I said, we're you know, when you're from an era and a time, you want to hear the stuff from that era and that time, and there's a lot of records that haven't been used yet. Woo.
Is there a time? Sorry, because I want to wrap this up. Is there a time limit? Isn't it 70 years? If the song is from 70 years or older, you could sample it for free, right? Or no? Have I got that fucked up?
I think it's more of its public domain. You can kind of sample it.
Yeah.
But stuff like Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis and stuff, you really can't because somebody kind of got their hands in it. You know what I'm saying? Where like most people actually, if they do their due diligence and really want to sample or they want a certain person's catalog, they're looking to find out who's the copyright holder, who's the owns the master, and stuff like that. If they can't find no information on it and they do their work, they might be able to get away and use something without having to worry about nothing. But that's a needle in a haystack, and you never know who owns what now because ain't nobody publicizing it. It's hard, saying, hey, look what I own.
And it might be like
I'm gonna sue you.
There might be four different entities that have a piece of something as well. So now you're dealing with 4 different people over one thing. Anyway, this is a whole convoluted thing. Brother K Def, man, again, thank you
for having me, man.
Which one Which one from here could we play, like out of this one that you think?
Let's go to, I don't know, maybe either Carmine Went Down or The Walls is Closing In. I don't know.
Let's go. Carmine Went Down. This is from a project. You can pick it up from K-Def's Bandcamp. I will put the link below. Drama, Pain, and Pressure EP. Like he said, he just broke it down for us. This is The Walls Are Closing In. Big up, K-Def. This has been a super hip.
What episode was that?
144, if I'm not mistaken.
144. Nice.